Can you hear me okay? Can you hear? Can everybody hear? No. Right. May I first of all convey to the miners of Hatfield and the people of Yorkshire the warm fraternal greetings of the Scottish miners who are gathering here today. May I also extend my gratitude to the organisers of this event here today for providing me with this tremendous opportunity to pay tribute to one of the movement's most able and finest sons, Mcgahy. Mcgahy was born in the Miners' Roads in Lanarkshire in 1925. And as a child, Mcgahy, he saw hardship, he saw poverty, and he witnessed starvation amongst his own people. And he saw the terrible victimisation of the miners and their families. As he grew older, Michael began to realise not everybody was poor, and not everyone had to worry about their next meal. Not everybody had to come home from work, and not everyone had to sit in a tin bath by their fire and wash. So Michael recognised at a very early age the cruel injustices that the miner and his family had to endure. He was aware of the wealth that existed not 100 miles from the Miners' Roads, but he was aware of the differing contrast that made Mcgahy angry. He was never envious of the ruling class, never jealous, nor did he ever seek to change place. Instead, Mcgahy opposed the lives of those who greedily lived on the labour of others. So even before leaving school at the tender age of 14, Mick had developed the class anger. A class anger that gave birth upon realising that poverty was an injustice. At the age of 14, Michael followed his father and his two brothers, John and Oni. He followed them both down the pit. But by then, he had actually secured enough knowledge to guide him down the path which would lead to a lifetime's pursuit and activity to secure a socialist Britain. Mcgahy, in my opinion, was arguably the most outstanding trade union leader of his generation. A communist from the age of 15 who would progress to give a lifetime's dedication to his beloved miners, encouraged by many giants in the movement, such as the Muffets, Abe and Alec, inspired by people such as Willie Gallagher, inspired by Jimmy Millen, General Secretary of the STUC, inspired by John Woods, General Secretary of the Scottish Miners' Union. Michael became President of the Scottish Miners' Union in 1967, and he served with great distinction until his retirement in 1986. Mick also held office as Vice President of our National Union from 1971 and again until his retirement in 1986. Mcgahy was undoubtedly, and he had an incredible ability, and he had an incredible personal history which was interwoven with a profound knowledge of the coal industry and the miners' union. But at the same time, he was no stranger to the wider labour and trade union movement, where his commitment was unquestionable. And throughout all those years, he remained in the van of the labour movement's many struggles and all the great social issues, whether it was in the paramount question of peace and disarmament, unemployment, or in defence of workers' rights. To some, Mcgahy was just another trade union dinosaur. I totally reject that concept, and nothing could be further from the truth. Because Mcgahy was a thinker. Mcgahy firmly believed that the trade union movement lacked a strategy, that the movement had no real concept of strategic thinking. He believed that its tactics were of the most immediate kind. In simple terms, what he was saying was that the movement had become reactive and not proactive. Mick wanted policies that went beyond immediate issues. He wanted policies, he wanted agreements that went beyond immediate issues and brought such issues into a long-term perspective. Comrades, I saw Mick Mcgahy as one of the few trade union leaders who wanted to talk strategy. I saw him as a leader who always wanted to ask questions like, where are we going to be in 10 years' time? For some of his peers, their answer to that question was quite easy: comfortably retire. But Mcgahy differed in the sense that the movement always came first. That was Mcgahy's great strength. Very seldom had he ever a personal axe to grind, and instead he directed his bitterness towards the capitalist society, which he saw as a source of human distress and injustice. Mick was very wise counsel to so many people, always generous with his time, because at the end of the day, Mick was just one of the people, always a miner, a person gracefully trusted by those that he represented, and a person who was always ready to listen to the views of others, particularly